Hi there, everyone. Salaam. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Khadija Hussain. I'm a autistic practicing Muslim with other disabilities. This video is going to be about how autism impacts me as an individual. Mm. Autism is a syndrome which means that it can impact different individuals in different ways. In a mild way, which can be invisible to the wider society, and the individual can seem weird, shy, or socially awkward. Or severe autism, which can make the individual non-verbal, which means the individual can't speak because of their severe disabilities. This is why autism is abbreviated, which is like the letters you see, as ACD, which stands for Autism Spectrum Disorder. There are many different ways autism can impact an individual. This is how autism impacts me as an individual. Disclaimer. Please don't take this information for autism in general. When I speak about autism in this video, I'm only speaking to myself, speaking on behalf of myself, and this may not apply for millions of other people with autism. But if you hear pieces that says autism in general, but then I link it back to myself, the autism in general is like that sentence only. And if I say me or my anything, it just means me as a individual and no one else. Over the years, over the years, my autism has impacted me in various different ways. For example, my trauma when nobody knew about my autism, was the time my autism impacted me the most. But autism has impacted me less and less since I found out about my autism age 12. To this day, where I see autism as a superpower, but it still impacts me in a somewhat bad way. I am vulnerable than an individual without autism. I mean, I am more vulnerable than an individual without autism. My autism makes me more vulnerable than an individual without autism because of my autism, I tend to see the best of a person to extreme extent. So I don't see the social cues and like subtle social cues of a person, and sometimes I miss them or misunderstand social cues, and other people could be planning something bad in the long term, and I don't notice it. I've got sensory issues. I am starting with one of the biggest impacts of sense of my autism, which is my sensory issues. My sensory issues has always impacted me, but it was worse when I was age 9 to 14. I never liked the sound of helicopters, especially when they go in circles around the sky, fireworks, louder music from a distance, especially concert music, and the sound of lots of people together and crowds, and the sound of the dole, which, in case if you didn't know, is the Pakistani drum. I also don't like the certain feels, like the feel of potato in my mouth, because it feels so mushy and like it just makes me want to gag. The feel of dry wet sand on my hands and feet. When the feel of paper scraping on my fingernails, or the sound it would make when somebody else scrapes it with their fingernails. The feel of metal when it scrapes my fingernails. They used to be a big trigger to my autistic meltdowns, which it still kind of is, but like it's dimmed down to like a hundred to like I say 15. Overload of different feelings. And overload of different feelings can be a big trigger to autistic meltdowns for a lot of people with autism, but in different ways. This part is like generally, but now I'm going to talk about myself. For me, these feelings would include stress, sadness, and feeling down, panic, or overexcitement. And yes, being overexcitement can trigger autistic meltdowns, and anxiety. So many bad or extremely good feelings all at once can bottle up in and be a factor to autistic meltdowns. Maybe it's the same for like a lot of other people, but I can't say for the whole autistic community in the world. I've got sleep problems. It's quite common in autism for people to have sleep problems and find it hard to sleep. But But I've also always struggled to sleep, but this is how it impacts me as an individual. Sometimes I would barely sleep at all or not get any sleep at all. The reason for this is that because there's still so much in my head at the night or something is worrying me, which is putting me off my sleep. Food problems. It is also quite common in autism to have an imbalanced diet. Some people eat more than they should. Some people eat less than they should, and I am one of those who eat less than I should. The reason for why I eat less than I should is because I just don't enjoy eating. I don't find pleasure in it as I should, and I don't feel hungry when I should. This is also kind of a factor of my acid reflux disease, I think. And last of all, autistic meltdowns. All of the points above are all intertwined with my autistic meltdowns, which is why autistic meltdowns is the last point. If my sensory issues are triggered, if I have an overload of feelings, if I don't sleep or eat well that day, it can be a big factor to having a meltdown, especially when there's all the factors at once. Okay, so in my next video, I am planning to say what are the 6 stages of a autistic meltdown and how it impacts me as an individual. So please leave a comment or like the video if you'd like to see that. Thank you for watching, everyone. Bye!